Inferno Girl Red, Book 1, Part 2 of 3 by Image Comics. So yeah, I just finished doing a review for Radiant Pink, and God, it was that terrible. And thankfully, Inferno Girl Red is completely different. I completely enjoyed the first issue. I thought it was really good. And this issue doesn't disappoint. I'm going to be kind of skipping here and there, and I'm not going to be revealing everything that happens. But basically, we have our main character, Cassia, is with her mom, and they're talking. Basically, her mom's telling her that she needs to continue being Inferno Girl Red. That there are monsters that slipped through before the barrier was set up, and she needs to go and help people. She's the only one that can do it. And we find out that the mom, Anna, used to work as a sidekick for the original Inferno Girl Red. The previous Inferno Girl Red was her best friend. And so she would help by being the one to track down leads on this cabal that were doing terrible things. So she would track down leads, gather information, and then send them to the original Inferno Girl Red. And the original Inferno Girl Red would go and take down the monsters. And she's kind of doing this with her daughter. Since her daughter's Inferno Girl Red, she's like, I have some leads. I have some informants. I'm going to go check them out and see if I can gather information, and I'll send it to you, and you go about saving the day. And we just get a little bit of Cassia and her struggles. She gets a call from her mom that there was a monster. Like, I've been trailing them, and they've managed to get away from me. Inferno Girl Red flies up ahead, and she sees the two monsters, and she fights them. And we see her struggle, which, yay! I mean, this is a girl who just recently got her superpowers. She shouldn't be completely great at them. She should be trying to learn how to use her powers. She shouldn't be just curb stomping monsters left and right. And we see her, she's able to fight one and put up a good fight, but then the other one sneak attacks her, and she's starting to get beat. And it's actually her mom that comes in and saves the day by hitting the monster with her car. And that buys Cassia enough time to knock the two monsters together and use this dragon blast kind of thing where she flies at the creatures, and like a bunch of fire erupts around her, and she basically shoots herself almost like a cannon at the creatures and destroys them. And so I thought this was good because, once again, we have a character struggling, and she has to be saved by someone else who has more experience at this than her. Not necessarily experience fighting monsters, but experience, dealing with the monsters in the sense of, like, she's been around them enough times. So we have also the big baddie. It's some dude in a hood that we don't really get to see their face. And I'm going to skip a lot more. But eventually, Cassia gets an emergency call from her mom, and she arrives at this area that looks like it's under construction. And her mom's like, I knew some people that were part of the cult back in the day. I couldn't prove anything, but I kept an eye on them, and I tailed one of them tonight. And look what he's led us to. This area where we see a bunch of cult members, and we see the big hoodie baddie. And some of the plan is revealed. What happened was the big hoodie baddie teleported the city into this dimension where their master is going to eat everyone in the city. He's going to consume them. The only thing stopping their master from doing that is a giant barrier. And also the fact that Inferno Girl Red somehow was in the city when this happened. But he's creating this device that should allow things to enter as well as leave the barrier. So once that's done, he's going to be able to bring in more monsters, more reinforcements, and then maybe eventually his master will be able to come in and kill everybody. And so Anna is like, you got to stop him. You got to stop him before he's able to finish creating this machine. And she's like, all right, how did the original Inferno Girl Red use her dragon blast thing that she did, like the finishing move? And her mom's like, oh, right, you just put your arms together like this and you shout Dragon Blast. That's all you got to do. So Cassia interrupts the meeting with the baddies and tries to stop the big villain. She puts her arms together. She yells out Dragon Blast. and nothing happens. Just a little bit of smoke erupts. So once again, I'm like, all right, cool. Here's a character who is not just learning all the moves immediately. Like even when she knows what to do, putting arms together and yelling Dragon Blast. Just because you do that doesn't mean that you're actually going to blast. You're actually going to use the blast. You have to still learn how to properly do it. So I like this. We got a character struggling to use their newfound powers. And then the big baddie just starts beating the crap out of her. So once again, we have a character who's struggling, which is good. This is what we should be getting. Characters who just recently got their powers, who have never fought a day in their life, are struggling against bigger baddies. They're not curb stomping them like I've seen in other series. And once again, her mom has to come in for the help. Like her mom comes and slashes at the creature, at the big baddie with like a rebar. And the big baddie seems to know who she is because she's like, I assumed you were the sidekick of the last Inferno Girl because she was your friend, but it looks like you love playing second fiddle to the heroes. And he's about to blast her when Cassia uses this time to grab her mom and teleport them away. Her mom's like, we got to go back. This is your chance. We can't let him build a machine. When Cassia powers down and her mom sees how like beat up and worn out she is, and she apologizes for pushing her daughter too hard. So again, I like the relationship between the mom and Cassia. I'll stop it here. There's a lot more, but I don't want to like spoil everything. I will say that I'm really enjoying this. This was another really awesome issue. I would say that Inferno Girl Red, it's only 2 issues so far, but it's my favorite series out of the entire Massiverse so far. Even way better than Radiant Black. Like, I like the character a lot more. Even her relationship with her mom is great. Like, I love seeing the dynamic between the two. Because usually in these stories, the child is always hiding the fact that they're a superhero from their parent or parents. But here, it's the opposite. Here, not only does the mom know, but the mom actually knows more because the mom was friends with the previous superhero. So she's the one kind of teaching her. So she's kind of being her daughter's mentor in a sense. And I like that. They seem to have a nice relationship, so that's good to see. There hasn't been any annoying characters so far, so that's good. We get some more on the baddie, why they got teleported, like why they decided to teleport the entire city and all this stuff. But most important, we see a character struggling. And this is a problem that I see a lot with current day comic books and even Western TV series and stuff. Especially if it's a female character. We never see the female character struggle. They're always the bestest ever. They're always awesome and good. And the story is basically them realizing how much, like they're more awesome than they originally assumed that they were. And everyone realizes how much awesome they are. And we don't get that here. We get a character who's trying. She's trying to do her best, but she's struggling because she's never done this before. She's never been a superhero. She's never used superpowers. She's never been in a fight. And so she's doing all this for the first time and she's struggling. And even when she gets small victories, she gets bigger defeats soon after. And it's basically her realizing, okay, I gotta really like start learning how to become an actual hero. Like how am I gonna be able to take on this big baddie if he just completely kicked my ass the first time we came across him? So I like this because that's what characters should be. They should be struggling, and we should see them overcoming those struggles. That's how we like start rooting for the characters. If they just go and start easily beating every obstacle in their way, it's boring. So I like this. I like the fact that we're seeing a character struggling and trying to learn how to use their powers and stuff. This is awesome. Even the artwork is great. I freaking love the artwork and the color, and the coloring is fantastic, especially for certain panels. It just comes across really good. So all in all, I love this series. It's only 2 issues, but it's been 2 phenomenal issues. I highly recommend it. And yeah, this was just the thing I needed after reading that piece of crap Radiant Pink. God, that was so terrible. It was nice. Like I was saying that I went in already kind of assuming that Radiant Pink was going to be terrible because it's been terrible so far. So I was like, I'm going to read it first just to get it out of the way. And then hopefully that bad taste in my mouth would be cleansed by reading Inferno Girl Red. And thankfully I was right. Inferno Girl Red just knocked it out of the park again. It's great. Go check it out. If you're a fan of the Massiverse, you're a fan of Tokusatsu series, or genre, I should say. Or if you just want to see a really good, well-written comic book series with a brand new character, here's how you do it. And hey, usually I don't dip into politics too much, and I'm not going to really dip into here, but I will say this. We have an ethnic character. Like, we have a main character who's female and clearly not white, and that's not her identity at all. The series does not constantly go around shoving it into our faces that she's a female. It doesn't knock down all the male characters around her to prop up the female characters. The fact that she's non-white isn't made a big deal. Like, race is not important in this series whatsoever. This is how you do it. You don't have to keep shoving into people's faces. You don't have to make it some kind of social, political commentary about it. Just give us a good character with a good story. And, you know, people will enjoy the series. And that's what this does. Again, Cassia, non-white female character. She's awesome. I love her. I think she's great. I enjoy her character very, very much. A lot of people, like, you know, complain about this kind of stuff. And then people are like, oh, you're just sexist. You're just racist. You're just this and that. It's like, no, it's just the stories are terrible. You take a character where their whole identity is their gender, their race, or their sexuality. That's what makes them terrible characters. Here you have a character who is, like I said, female, non-white, could possibly, I mean, we have no idea what her sexuality is. I don't care what her sexuality is. She can be whatever she wants. She's a great character so far. And it's because that's not, you know, it's focused on the story. It's focused on things that everyone can relate to. I can relate to this character despite the fact that I look nothing like her. I'm not the same gender as her. I come from a family household with two parents rather than growing up with just a mom. But I can still connect with this character on other levels. That's how good she is. I'm kind of just rambling about that at this point, but I like everything about this. Thumbs up. Go check it out. This series has been just phenomenal so far. But there you go. There's Inferno Girl Red, issue number 2. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. So what'd you guys think of that video? I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that bell for a notification. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.